When we first started to renovate and remodel our kitchen, we really didn't have a plan, and Joe had never built a cabinet before, so we had no clue how it was gonna come out. You're watching the Behr Pantry Show. My name is Barbara, and for over a decade, I've been teaching viewers and subscribers how to cook authentic dishes from my home country of Belize and many other delicious dishes from basic ingredients. But as you can see from the first two videos that I've posted here at the page, video 1 and video 2 of my dream kitchen reveal, the kitchen is coming out amazing. So what I want to do for this third and final video, the reason that we've been putting the video in segments or spurts is because we've been getting the money in spurts to do the kitchen, right? So this is the third installation. What I want to do for this one is show you some behind the scenes of some of the mistakes that we made, all right? So first of all, on the left hand side of the kitchen that has the sink, Joe built the lower cabinets only, and then we renovated the upper cabinets and we built shaker doors. Well, not we, Joe. Joe built shaker doors. So he was doing a great job with the shaker doors. The first couple came out correct, and then one came out the wrong size, and I didn't know what happened because the formula is the formula. It's math. So once you add and subtract correctly, it should come out right, right? So on the upper door behind, above the pantry, let's go inside to go see this. The one above the pantry is the glass door, right? So when Joe made the door, it was too short from left to right. He didn't make it wide enough. So what he did was add this piece on right here. See this piece that wasn't there originally? So this is where it ended. He added this piece of style on, and then he just covered it with the putty and painted it. So now the door can close. There was no redoing this door because we already bought the glass and made the door. So he had to figure it out, right? So the next mistake was with the shaker drawers. So when you're making the shaker doors, there's two styles on the sides that goes all the way up. Oh, the camera is trying to focus. And then the two rails are insetted in between the two styles, like a picture frame. So the top and the bottom. The drawers are supposed to be built the same way, but Joe reversed it and he did the two rails all the way and the two styles inserted. See the line right here? Can you guys see it? And so he says that's his happy mistake. He likes it like that. The next mistake was actually my mistake, and it has to do with the peel and stick tile. So when I laid the first one on the wall, it says you're supposed to like cut it to where it's all square to fit in here, but I didn't do that. And I don't know if that's what caused the problem, but I laid the first one and that was fine. See, it's all snug up here. The second one was fine. But when I got to the third one, see, it started to slope right here. And so then when we got over here, it started to not match. It wasn't interlocking. So we had to like shimmy some off and do all kind of fancy stuff and then put that little piece in. So if I didn't show that to you guys, you wouldn't see it, but we know it's here. So that way it was giving us some trouble, but then this way it flowed smoothly because it wasn't sloping. So if you can remember from video number 2, we didn't put anything here yet because we're actually gonna get some good backsplash when we put in the new counter. I want to tell you guys this story so badly out here in the backyard because it's so beautiful and cool and everything, but that bird don't want to shut up, so just ignore him, okay? He's like the trolls that come into my live events. He just wants to be seen and heard. Anyways, when we started the project, like I told you guys earlier, we did not have a plan. So what we did was measure what we already had in the kitchen. So we started on the left-hand side, of course, and we measured all the walls in between because it's 3 lower cabinets that's in the kitchen. The one on the left of the sink, the one under the sink, and the one to the right of the sink, right? Because we were not gonna touch the upper ones, like to destroy them. We're just gonna build doors for those. So we measured everything and we measured the floor. Right? So then Joe took it to our friend where we used to have our bottle printing business because he's a carpenter, and asked him to cut it for us, and he was so happy to cut it for us, and we are so grateful that he did because he cut it accurately based on what we measured.
Because they have a bigger saw than me to accommodate the plywood.
Because the plywood big.
Yeah, a little thing just about that size, I can't do nothing.
Right. Then the floor, that's another mistake on that side of the kitchen because I'm telling them all the mistakes. So we, because of the way the walls sit for the cabinet, the floor doesn't sit like underneath the walls. It sits like in between. So when we measured the floor, the exact width of each cabinet, the floor got bigger and we didn't realize, and we had to cut off like 5 inches off of these cabinets when the guys came to put on the countertop. So by then Joe figured it out and he says, on this side it's not gonna mess me up. So when he went to our friend again, because he says, come back anytime to cut this, you know, I'll cut it for you. Because he knows we're just doing our kitchen. We're not doing this for business, right?
It take you about 10 minutes.
10 minutes to cut. So Joe went over there with the wood and Joe was gonna ask him, you know, to make sure that he had it correct in his brain. Should I cut like the floor smaller than in the... But he didn't even have time to do that because when he got there, the friend was busy and he says, my son will cut it for you. Now, we've known this kid since he was like 8 years old, right? Because we've known this guy since 2002. And so the kid cut it, but at the end, what did he say, babe?
You tell me that next time it's not going to be free.
Did he say it nicely? Because I don't know if there's a way to say that nicely.
He just said next time it ain't going to be free, okay? I said, okay.
No, you gave him a different response.
No, he said, okay. I said, how much I got for you?
See, that's a different response.
So how much I got for you for this time? Oh, no, it's okay, this time, but next time. I said, okay.
Now, how can a 28-year-old young man speak on his father's behalf and say something like that in earshot of the dad and the dad not correct him? Because my kids couldn't do that to a grown adult like that. My kids, I would just check them on the spot. My kids wouldn't even think of doing that. So I think they've had conversations at the house.
Some conversation. And folks, tell you what, I know this guy from 2002. Where you have a business against each other. And anytime the truck would come to deliver his lumber, I stopped my project.
Every 6 weeks?
Every 6 weeks. I stopped my machine for about an hour, unload.
Not 10 minutes, 1 hour.
Unload all this stuff on, stock him up on the mezzanine that he have with the forklift because he couldn't drive forklift. I do that with no problem.
For 15 years we did that.
And any little thing I could help him with, I help him because we're all neighbors together. I mean, you know, we get along good.
It hurt my heart. Honestly, and you guys know that we tell you honest stories about what we deal with behind the scenes. It's not just that, oh, Barbara's doing these reveal videos to show her kitchen. I'm so grateful to God for the kitchen, and I'm grateful to him for cutting it, and even grateful to the young man for cutting it this last time, because that's how the peninsula and the piece between the stove and the fridge is coming out accurately. You notice the bird was only hollering when you talk? So I'm grateful. I'm not ungrateful for what they did, but I'm hurt.
Yeah, I mean, it hurt me to see that. I mean, if he could have come out and tell me, you know what, I'll do this for you, but
there's a fee.
There's a fee. Okay.
And Joe had planned to go back over there and take some barbecue and a case of Corona beer.
Like every Friday they
have party back there.
Party and drink beers and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes I'll buy some beer and all that,
but we don't drink. We'll buy them the beer, but we don't drink. Joe had planned to do that. I had planned to thank them in this third and final video, and that's why I'm still thanking them. They don't watch my video. If they do, I don't care. I'm hurt.
I guess when you're gone, you forget about. You're no friend no more, I guess.
Now let's take a look at what Joe has done so far. He made the whole peninsula, and he's making the faceboard frame. Remember that this piece right here is going to be the hidden piece where the other little cabinet's going to go to make the L. This is our 2 drawers, our 2 doors, and he's going to build, I think, 2 doors in the back. So after framing up the cabinets, Joe just systematically continued to build every single day. Sometimes when the days were too hot, he would go out from 5 o'clock in the morning to about 9, 10, come back inside all day, and then go back out like 6 in the evening, right? Till you can't see no more, till the sun sets.
Oh, I put the light on.
He puts the light on after the sun sets. So he knew what he was doing already. He had to build all the different shaker doors. And that's the hardest part because the saw that he has doesn't work all that. What kind of saw you call it, Joel?
Mickey Mouse.
Don't be knocking Mickey Mouse, okay?
I bought it at Walmart one time. It's a little small saw like that. They're nothing too big.
So he said cutting the tongue and the groove was the hardest part, right?
Because the rails on the saw. You know, it's got a little movement.
It shimmies.
Right. So what happens sometimes it don't cut straight. And that one messed me up sometimes.
So he had to build 1, 2, 3 shaker doors for the front of the peninsula, and then I had to throw a monkey wrench in his plans and beg him for 2 doors that would open for the backside of the peninsula because I wanted to be able to reach in to the backside and get out my stuff. I'm tired of just like going to the front and take out a billion things and then to get to the stuff in the back,
don't
right?
you say you fit? You could bend that.
Well, I could bend and do all that, but I'm getting older. Plus, I can't get into the side, into the L, like the part by the wall. So by him making the door on the right-hand side when you're in the dining room, that gives me access into that part. And then the other door was just a plus. The middle one is a door too, so he had to build 3 shaker doors, guys. I gave him a lot of work. On top of that, he had to build 7 drawers. He built all the facing for the drawers first, and then he built all the box, you know, because the drawer is like a box, right? And then we sent for the glides. Well, we bought the glides from Amazon, and they did not come. They said they were undeliverable, and then they didn't want to give me my money back. I had to fight Amazon for my money. Finally bought the glides from someplace else. I'm going to do a review for that too, to put it at Amazon. And then he painted everything inside is whisper white, just like the upper cabinets. The upper cabinets on the outside has sleek white, the inside has whisper white, and then the rest of the doors and stuff is the green, and then, you know, they have the glass. The upper one above the door, everything's green. So all the lower cabinets are green, right? And the pantry. And the green is the Breezeway Green, all right? So then we needed 2 more of those the handles, right? Because we built more. Well, not because of the doors. We just miscalculated, right? So it wasn't because of those extra doors, because we're not going to put any handles on those doors in the back. Because Joshua says it looks better if people don't know that it's doors that's there. It's like a secret. It's like a hidden door.
We just threw it like a hidden door. I think nobody expect that.
We know it, right? But they don't know it. So then the guys came today. Oh my goodness. The guys came today to put in the countertop. These guys are so awesome. Their company is called RCC. I'm going to say it wrong. I wrote it down. I want to say like remodeling custom countertops. I think the RCC stands for. I'm going to do a whole video on them, and I'm going to do a video on the guy that we bought the countertops from, okay? Because the guy that we bought the countertops from sent those guys to us to put it in. And I just really like the way they work. They're so professional. When they tell you they're going to come, they come the day that they're supposed to come and the time they're supposed to come. I really appreciate that. And they're so pleasant to deal with, and so mannerly and so professional. They didn't even give me a seam. Everybody else that we went to wanted to give us a seam, right, Joe? And for the small cabinet in the L was going to have a big old cut in there, a seam. No, they etched that sucker out of a big slab. They fabricated all the side. They did such an amazing job. I have to do a video for these people, and these videos are going to be my free videos. They're not sponsored. You know what I mean? So the guys came, put it in. They worked for like 2.5 hours, right? And then I spent the rest of the day cleaning up. My goodness, Joe didn't cover anything when they were cutting the some of the plywood off of the counter, because you have to put the plywood for them to put the counter on it. And Joe absolutely did not cover nothing. And I had to wash everything that was sitting on the dinner table. All the spatulas, the spoon, I washed everything. I even had to clean out the 2 top drawers. Well, the 3 top drawers.
Why you blame me? You were here too.
I was in the room doing a live. Anyways, take a look at the pictures now. What I'm going to do is show you how the kitchen looked way before we painted it white. So this is the original. And then a few years ago, we painted everything white and put the black hardware. And then finally, we just gutted the whole thing. And we're sitting out here on the front. We don't have a porch, but this would be a porch if anything. Sitting on the front porch. I just keep tearing up. I just keep crying because I'm so happy with the fact that this man, my beautiful husband, just tapped into an ability that he did not know he had. I mean, he has an older brother that does a lot of building and construction and stuff, but he kind of learned that on the fly too, right? Didn't know he could do it, learned it on the fly. He has another brother that knows how to work with wood, but he learned that someplace else too. Nobody taught Joe but YouTube. YouTube taught Joe.
That's my teacher.
Oh, and remember we were showing mistakes? So let me leave you with this last one big mistake. So when Joe put the big piece of the peninsula into the wall and put the little piece in, we couldn't open the drawers. Couldn't open one of the drawers. The handle was in the way. Couldn't open the drawer.
Because the handle was different. That's why.
So what he had to do was move the whole cabinet off the wall. I call it like a shim. Put a little piece of shim wood in, behind it, and then put it on the wall.
They do grow the cabinet.
We grew the cabinet. That's what we did. We add fabric to the cabinet. And so then it works perfect. And then you have to go add, what do you call the thing? Stiles in between where it intersects. Child, You wouldn't know if I didn't tell you. So don't go tell nobody. Shh. These are all the mistakes that's in here, right? Bye guys.
Bye people.
Remember guys, we are not buying this book. Pick up a copy of this book instead. Beans and Rice Volume 2 is the only Belizean cookbook backed by the Behr Pantry Show. Take a look at all these wonderful recipes you'll find inside the pages. Not interested in Belizean dishes? Then the Pantry Laid Bare with these better than restaurant quality comfort foods might be the perfect book for you. Only need a small batch or a meal for two? Then pick up a copy of No More Leftovers. Each book has many choices of delicious dishes from basic ingredients.